Welcome to our English podcast. Let's practice speaking together.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Just Speak English podcast. I'm Hailey.
And I'm Chase, so glad you're here with us today.
Today's episode is all about talking about your daily life in English, the small, everyday things. What you did this morning, what your week looks like, what your weekend plans are. These conversations come up constantly, and being able to talk about them naturally makes a huge difference.
It's one of those skills that seems simple, but actually takes practice. So today, we're giving you real vocabulary, real structures, and plenty of examples you can start using immediately. Subscribe if you're new here, and let's get into it. 5 words and phrases for today. This one deserves a few extra.
First, routine. A routine is a sequence of actions you do regularly, usually in the same order. My morning routine includes coffee, a quick workout, and checking my emails before anything else.
Second, errand. An errand is a short trip you take to do a specific task, like going to the bank or the supermarket. I have a few errands to run this afternoon: the pharmacy, the post office, and the grocery store.
Third, catch up. To catch up means to update someone on what's happened recently, or to spend time with someone you haven't seen in a while. We should catch up soon. I haven't seen you in months, and so much has happened.
Fourth, wind down. To wind down means to relax and slow down, usually at the end of the day. I like to wind down in the evening with a book and some tea before bed.
And fifth, hectic. Hectic means extremely busy, full of activity, sometimes a little stressful. My week has been completely hectic. Back-to-back meetings every single day. Okay, routine, errand, catch up, wind down, and hectic. Let's go.
Hailey, let's start simple. Walk me through what a normal day looks like for you, start to finish.
Sure, I usually wake up around 7, have coffee, and check my messages for about 10 minutes before I really start the day. Then I head to work. I either drive or take the train, depending on traffic. My mornings are usually pretty busy with meetings, and I try to take a proper lunch break instead of eating at my desk, which honestly doesn't always happen.
That's a great example, actually, because you use so many useful daily life phrases naturally. Wake up around, check my messages, head to work, depending on. These are the exact building blocks people need for this kind of conversation.
Exactly. And that's the thing about daily life conversations. They're built from small, reusable chunks. Once you have 10 or 15 of these phrases memorized, you can describe almost any day without thinking too hard about grammar.
What about the evenings? How do people usually talk about winding down after a long day?
Common phrases would be, I usually relax by watching something, or I like to unwind with a podcast, or simply, I wind down with a good book. Notice how natural these sound compared to something like, in the evening, I do the activity of relaxing. That second version sounds translated. Too formal, too direct, almost robotic.
That's such a good point. Daily life English should sound casual and a bit loose, not like a grammar exercise from a textbook. Native speakers don't say, I perform my morning routine. They say, I do my thing in the morning, or simply, I get ready and head out.
I do my thing. I love how vague that is. It works for literally any routine, no matter how boring or exciting it actually is.
It really does. Vague but completely understood by everyone. Let's talk about weekends too, because that's a super common small talk topic. Any plans for the weekend?
Right. And there are some great go-to answers for that. Nothing too exciting, just relaxing at home. I'm running a few errands and then meeting some friends later. I'm planning to catch up with my sister. Haven't seen her in weeks. These answers are simple, natural, and give the other person something easy to respond to.
And here's a tip. Always add a small detail to your answer. Instead of just saying, I'm staying home, say, I'm staying home, probably going to clean the house and watch a movie. That extra detail makes the conversation easier to continue because it gives the other person something specific to react to or ask about.
That connects to what we talked about in our small talk episode. Follow-up questions work both ways. If you give a little detail, you're naturally inviting a follow-up question, and that keeps the whole conversation flowing without any awkward pauses.
What about talking about your week in general? Like when someone casually asks, how's your week going?
Good responses include, it's been pretty hectic, meaning very busy, or pretty chill so far, meaning relaxed, or same old, which means nothing special has happened. It's just a normal week like any other. These expressions are incredibly common in everyday English conversations.
Same old is one of my favorites, honestly. It's such a natural, casual way to say nothing new without sounding boring or dismissive.
And I think the key takeaway from today is that talking about daily life doesn't require complicated or advanced vocabulary. It requires natural, casual phrases used with confidence. You don't need to sound impressive in these conversations. You need to sound real and relaxed.
Exactly. And the way to build that naturalness over time is repetition. Practice describing your own day out loud, using the phrases we covered today. Something like, I woke up around 8, ran a few errands, caught up with a friend over coffee, and wound down with a show before bed. That's a full, natural daily life description using almost everything from today's episode.
Try building your own version of that sentence right after this episode ends. Just replace the details with your actual day. That's instant. Completely practical practice that takes less than a minute.
And here's something worth remembering. These small, everyday descriptions are some of the most repeated conversations in any language. You'll have some version of this conversation almost every single day of your life. So mastering it isn't a small win. It's actually one of the highest value things you can practice.
That's such a good point. We sometimes think the advanced topics are the ones worth focusing on. But honestly, fluency in daily small talk like this is what makes you feel genuinely comfortable living life in English.
One more thing I want to add. What about talking about plans further ahead, not just today or this weekend? Like when someone asks, what have you got going on this month?
Good question. For that, people often say things like, it's a pretty packed month, or nothing major, just the usual, or I've got a few things lined up. That phrase, lined up, means planned or scheduled. I've got a doctor's appointment and a work trip lined up for next week.
Is lined up is such a useful one. And I think it's worth mentioning that these phrases stack together really naturally. You could say, this month is pretty packed. I've got a work trip lined up. Plus, I'm trying to catch up with a few friends I haven't seen in a while. That's 3 of our phrases in one natural sentence.
Exactly, and that's really the goal here. Not memorizing isolated phrases, but being able to combine them naturally, depending on the situation. The more you practice combining 2 or 3 of these chunks together, the more fluent and natural your daily life conversations will sound.
And one last thing before we wrap up the vocabulary. Context really matters here. With close friends, you can be very casual. Same old, but in a slightly more professional setting, like with a coworker you don't know well, you might soften it a bit. Pretty busy, but good. Reading the room and adjusting your tone is part of sounding natural, too.
That's such an important nuance. The words matter, but so does matching your energy to the person you're talking to.
Quick vocab recap. Routine, a regular sequence of actions you do consistently. Errand, a short trip to do a specific task. Catch up, to update someone or spend time with them after a while apart. Wind down, to relax at the end of the day. And hectic, extremely busy, sometimes a little stressful.
And remember, daily life English is casual, not formal. Use chunks like head to work, same old, and I do my thing. Sound real, not impressive. That's the whole secret.
Comment below. Describe your day-to-day in English in just 2 or 3 sentences. Try using one of the phrases from this episode.
Next episode, we're going somewhere a little different. Stay tuned for that. We think you're really going to enjoy it.
Thank you so much for listening today. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It's completely free, and it really helps us keep making this podcast. See you in the next one.
Bye, everyone!
Bye!